So maybe you went a little too crazy stocking up on all of the huge Black Friday sales. And I get it. It is so exciting. You get everything home and then you just want to pile everything on all at once. But then you realize, oh my golly, I bought too much and also I've layered too much. I'm gonna make this so easy for you to prevent you from ever having your skin look like this when you're finished doing your skincare. I'm gonna show you how to layer all of those products that you probably didn't need. It doesn't have to be the same products that I just bought. Hopefully what I'm about to share will help you. All right, number one, the first thing that I wanna share, if you did not buy a sunscreen, or if you do not already have a non-expired sunscreen, not one from 2 years ago, but a newer sunscreen that you are using on your beautiful face every single day and reapplying, turn my video off. Turn it off right now. This video only applies to those of you who actually use your sunscreen and reapply every single day. So first I'll quickly share with you what I have on my skin today and the order I applied it, and then I'll quickly share with you how you can apply every single thing that you purchased. I bought the new Prequel cleanser. This is their Glenser, the glycolic one. I have all of them. I love all of them. And it's very affordable, and you get this huge bottle. You don't have to only use it on your face, you can use it on your body as well. So this is what I used as my cleanse this morning. I love it, and there's a reason I used an acid cleanser, and you'll see I'm not gonna use a separate acid product. Not my new favorite, 𝑽𝑰𝑫𝑬𝑃 pads, none of that, because I was able to get all the crusties dusties off with this cleanser. And then at night, just really quickly to show you, this one is phenomenal if you're looking for a cleanser that, you know, if you don't want to do all those extra steps and use a separate serum or a peel pad. This cleanser from 𝑐𝑚𝑯𝑬𝑃, this is normally like $46 and I got this free, and I'm going to share with you how. This also has little beads in it. I'm not normally a fan of the beads, but they're like so gentle and fine, like finer than sand, and it doesn't cause any irritation or, you know, scraping or anything on my face. So when I want my steps to be less, I love to use some type of an acid cleanser, because the very first step that I use after I cleanse my face, before I use an essence, toner, anything, I like to use my growth factor serum. This is my all-time favorite, holy grail. By the way, this is still on sale. All the other Black Friday sales have ended already, but this one is still on sale for a couple more days. You can get this 44% off. And those of you that have used this brand for a long time, you'll be like, what, 44%? You never see a sale like this. This is from the makers of Botox. These are the original inventors of the greatest of all time, growth factor serum. This is a real growth factor serum. There's a lot of other new ones on the market that are made from plants and lab created, and you know, they're nice, but the other ones are more just like hydrating. This, I've shared the story a gazillion times. After 2 weeks of using it, I walked by a mirror, had to take a double take. I could not believe how firm my jawline looked. And then I started getting all kinds of compliments on my skin. And the only thing I had changed in my skincare routine was this. So if you are looking for the most intense anti-aging that's gonna give results really, really quickly, this right here, I never like to be without this. But it's really expensive, so of course I only buy it on sale. So that was my very first step after I cleansed. And then since I deal with some hyperpigmentation, melasma, age spots, sunspots, just some dark spots, old acne, scarring on my skin, I like to use an all-in-one dark spot fading serum. This has 4 different dark spot fading ingredients in it, so instead of me having to layer 3, 4, 5, 6 different separate products, this pretty much has everything in it that I love. This is from 𝑚ELOVE. This is their Fade Away serum. Love this serum so much. I don't know if you noticed in the big box I held up, I just bought 4 more, and then a couple weeks ago I had just bought 2 more. Love this. Like, it's a holy grail. It is that phenomenal. The next product I used, I shared this in a video last week. Y'all, nobody has told me how amazing this is. This is not new to the market, but it's brand new to me. And a couple of you in the comments were like, oh yeah, I've used it for years and it's a holy grail. I need for you guys to tell me what your holy grails are so that I can try these out. But this is from Bioeffect. This is their EGFI serum. It leaves like this beautiful hydrating, instant plumping to my hollowed out, crepey under eye area. And then my next step, I put 3 teeny little drops, not dropperfuls, of the new Paula's Choice. This is their 7% Ectoin Booster. Probably couldn't tell in that big box, but I just bought 6 more. That's how much of a holy grail and how mind-blowing this product is. And then I didn't use a separate moisturizer all over my face because that Ectoin, it works as a nice lightweight moisturizer. But for the daytime, I did put on my moisturizing sunscreen from Dermatology. Before I did that, I did put on this new 𝑚ELOVE neck cream. This is their Forever Firm. I'm still testing it, so I can't tell you you know, if it gives me any great results, but I will say really quickly within like the first 3 weeks to a month, it did instantly get rid of like this crepey kind of, it was just kind of a yucky feeling under my neck, and it does feel a lot firmer. But you know, there's probably nothing topically that we can put on that's gonna make us look snatched or like we had a facelift, but this is pretty impressive for a neck cream. But I'll share it in another review once, you know, I have my final opinion on if I think it's worth picking it up. And then of course I used my Dermatology, my universal tinted sunscreen. It's a moisturizer and a sunscreen. That's what I put on my face today. And I have some City Lips on my lips and my lash growth serum, and that's it. And also, I'm not an expert, but I think I'm an expert in my skin, and I know what I'm able to layer and what will work for my face. So the first tip I want to share with you is less is best. Just remember that. So when you go crazy and you want to start taking out 20 items at a time and piling them on or mixing them, never mix. Never mix your products in your hands. Less is best. Just remember that. I don't care if you're like, oh, but I just bought it and I really want to see what it's like. Try it on your hand. Try it on your arm. Try it somewhere else. Just do not pile on a ton of products at once. When you try a new skincare product, don't just willy-nilly go buy every single thing that you see one of us influencers using and think that your skin will look exactly like ours if you put all 6 of these products on. If you are new to these products, only start out with one product at a time. How are you gonna know what product is working? Like when I started using SkinMedica TNS, as expensive as this is, I was not about to try it with 5 new products because then I would have never known what the magic product was. And thankfully, I was only using this as my new product, and this is what magically transformed my skin within 2 weeks. And of course, if you want all of your products to really work to their full potential, don't forget that sunscreen. All right, so whatever products you purchase, a simple rule other than growth factors always go on your skin first. The reason why, especially if it's a real growth factor serum, the molecule's a lot larger. So if you've already put another product on first, it's gonna be a little more difficult for this to penetrate. I'm not gonna put like an essence or some other serum on first that's gonna be blocking the penetration of this. So this always goes on your skin right after you clean it. And if you wanna make sure it can penetrate even better, I like to use some type of an acid first, but not a leave-on acid, because you don't want that acid to mix with this, because then this won't work as well. So you want to use either a wash-off type acid product, or just do it in your face cleanser that has the acid in it, and then when you rinse it off, then you can apply this. And using the acid before using your growth factor helps gently eat off any of the dead flaky skin cells or anything that's just kind of preventing this from deeply penetrating. I learned this little trick from Dr. Idris, actually. So her glycolic flash mask is great, or either of these 2 cleansers are great. Just remember, growth factors always go on first. Forget the whole thinnest to thickest rule when it comes to a growth factor like this. Now let's get into the thinnest to thickest rule. It's not really a rule, it's kind of more like a suggestion or a recommendation. You have all these skincare products and you're like, oh, one of them is a thicker cream. Another one is this really watery serum. Another product is a milky type serum. And you're like, I don't even know what to layer first. That's when you can kind of use the thinnest to thickest suggestion. Now, say you have 3 serums that all pretty much have the same consistency, the same texture. If I do this first, then this, or this first, then this, it's not wrong. You decide what you want first. Now, if you want to use your favorite exfoliator, for 3 years, this has been my all-time favorite holy grail exfoliating serum. And it still is as far as an exfoliating serum, but I don't have them here because I've already packed them. I'm about to go on a little vacation. My 𝑽𝑰𝑫𝑬𝑃 Pore Perfect pads, oh my gosh, those, I don't even reach for this anymore. That's how much I love those, because the 𝑽𝑰𝑃𝑬𝑃 pads, I could use them every day. They're gentle enough for every day. But when I tell you they make my skin look so hydrated, plump, but they instantly get off any of those dry flakies, so that when I go to do my makeup, of course after my sunscreen and everything's on, but when I go to do my makeup and I look in the mirror, oh my gosh, my makeup looks so good every day. With this, yes, my makeup always looks amazing when I use this, but I can only really use it 2 or 3 days a week. And so maybe a couple days of the week, I'm like, my skin kind of looks like it needs exfoliated, but you don't want to overdo it with something like this, because this is quite more potent than the 𝑽𝑰𝑃𝑬𝑃 pads. So this is still my all-time favorite holy grail as far as something that comes in a serum that's an exfoliator. But if you want something that's going to help your makeup look fabulous every single day, the 𝑽𝑰𝑫𝑬𝑃 Pore Perfect pads all day long. Those are absolutely phenomenal. So if you do say, well, I've got these products, but I also want to use my exfoliator, and you also are going to use your prescription strength tretinoin, I would not add this in on the same nights that you're using prescription strength tretinoin, unless your skin is so advanced and you're like me, and I am able to layer an acid before I use my nighttime retinoid. But I don't use prescription strength anymore. I did for about 25 years. And even though I, of course, had great results with it, and it really helped, with acne and just keeping my skin look more youthful, I got so tired of one day my skin was like, oh, it's looking good. And then the next day it's like red, dry, flaky, irritated. Then the next day it's looking good. And then a couple days later, I'm like, oh my gosh, my skin's burning. This was even when I would use the lower strength. It just, out of the blue, just would decide to have, a different personality for that day. And I got tired of it. And then when I discovered retinaldehyde, which the one I use is just as potent as the prescription I was using, and the one I use is the absolute highest strength on the market. And I love it because it is super duper potent, but it is so gentle. So for me, for my skin, I am able to use this a couple times a week. And then if it's nighttime, I can use my high strength retinaldehyde, but I do not recommend that you do that unless you have very experienced skin. And if you do try it out, I have another video of how I do it. It basically will peel your face. It'll peel your skin, but I do it in such a gentle way. I have another video if you want to look at how I do that and what products I would use. I'll pop that up here. But say it's morning time and you want to use this. It's not really recommended to use an acid in the morning, especially if you're going to be, walking your dog for 2 hours in the sun or at the beach or gardening. But for me, I will use something like this during the day, especially if I know I'm not going to be in the bright sun. But of course, I always use a lot of sunscreen and I reapply to look fly. So yes, you can. But pretending I wasn't using a growth factor serum, I would use this right after I cleanse my face with a gentle cleanser. I wouldn't use a glycolic acid cleanser and then use an acid serum. That's just overkill. So pick your acid. If you want to use something like this every single day, I wouldn't add in something like this unless you know that your skin can tolerate it. Make sure you read the ingredients on your products. You might read the label, the marketing label and the title of it, and it might just say beauty serum. Well, you need to read the ingredients, because what if that beauty serum has glycolic acid, lactic acid, salicylic acid, and all these acids in it, and you're just thinking it's just a basic beauty serum, and you don't realize it's actually an exfoliating serum. So make sure you read your ingredients to know what you're layering so that you don't make your face look like mine did in the beginning, all red and irritated. Because trust me, once your skin gets to that level, of course, obviously I had a serum on my face making it look like it was red and irritated. But if your skin ever gets red, irritated, and just raw feeling, you have caused a world of issues for your face, because now you've damaged your beautiful skin barrier. And let me tell you, it will take you forever to get it back. Now, if you want to see another video, if you did do what I did in the beginning, that's never happened to me that bad, but I have caused irritation on my skin barrier before. But if that ever happens, or if you do have the irritation, leave me a comment. Let me know if you want to see another video of what you can do to heal your skin barrier. All right, I also bought a few of the new Prequel retinaldehyde. This is fabulous. This is what I'm testing right now because I want to compare it. I don't want to open my little travel kit. I want to compare it. You can see right here, this is my Medic 8. This is the highest strength retinaldehyde that you can get on the market. This is strength 24. It is higher strength than this, but I wanted to try this new Prequel one because it's a ton less expensive. And even though it's not as high a strength, it kind of feels like it is, because this, it doesn't cause irritation on my skin, but it gives me like this instant tingling on my face. And I notice that when I put it, because I'm really trying to get rid of this little wrinkle right here, I notice when I put it over my lip at night after a few days, I do get a little bit of peeling and flaking here. And with this retinaldehyde, I get no peeling and flaking. Now this has a special delivery. It's like a slow dose delivery system that's in here. They're like encapsulated so that you're not getting a big burst of the ingredient all at once. And so it's super potent, but it's super gentle. This also has that in it as well, but I'm really trying to see if this one will be better than my Medic 8. Still my Medic 8, greatest of all time, the highest strength over the counter. but I like that there's more brands coming out with low strength ones. Now, I've tried pretty much every single lower strength retinaldehyde on the market, all the brands, and unfortunately, I just don't like a lot of them. I don't feel like they do the intense anti-aging that my Medigate does. And you can probably see some of the other things that I shoved in here. If you guys want to see a video on all of the products that I take with me, that it's like, oh no, I'm going on vacation, these products will be with me. If you want to see a video of everything that I personally take, like I'll take less clothes so that I can take more skincare. I mean, who cares if I wear the same outfit every day? I want my skin looking great. And also, if you're new to skincare, or perhaps you picked up this new retinaldehyde also, or whatever brand of retinoid that you picked up, I also wouldn't use like an acid cleanser or a dark spot serum that has some of these potent dark spot ingredients until you know how your skin tolerates it. Again, only start out with one product at a time. I would not try, you know, to be mad scientist and layer a ton of different products just because they're new and they're exciting. Now, say you bought a bunch of different eye products. Now, you know, we really don't need separate eye products. You could just use whatever your daily moisturizer is and call it a day. But for me, I'm 53 years old, I do enjoy using a separate eye product. So say you want to use an eye cream and this eye serum. Since this is so lightweight, this is just like a thin kind of watery gel texture. You just push this little button and then you can put it on around your eyes. It's lovely. I'm loving this so much. But you could put your eye serum on first because it's lightweight, and then put your other eye cream over top after this absorbs, or, you know, just put your moisturizer over top. Or do like what I did today. I just used my moisturizing sunscreen. I know a lot of people say, oh, don't mix this and mix that with anything. I wouldn't mix anything. I don't even care if you're layering sunscreens. Don't mix them together, but it's okay to layer as long as you wait for each layer to obviously set and dry down first before you put the next one on. Say you bought one of your favorite face mists or any other face mist. Again, read the ingredients, because maybe that face mist has an acid high up in it and maybe it's more of an exfoliating product. So you want to be cautious, read your ingredients and make sure you're not layering something like that with this. Now this isn't an acid, but there are some face mists that actually do have acids high up in them. So don't just read what the name is, the marketing name. Like this is Self-Esteem Beauty Sleep Serum. Well, if you didn't read the ingredients, you wouldn't know that this has a few different acids in it. Say you have a hydrating face mist like this, or maybe you just have the Avène Thermal Spring Water. That's another favorite. You could layer this in between each step, especially if you're really dry and you want to add a lot of plumpness. Or if you're not using your growth factor serum, you could put this on right after you cleanse your face, or just leave your face wet with water. Then you can start using your other products. Oftentimes, especially if your skin's super duper dry, oftentimes using a hydrating type of face mist or water will really help plump up the skin, so it will help with better penetration of the rest of your products. But even with a growth factor serum, I don't want to use this before I use this. Again, this is very expensive. I don't want anything blocking its absorption. And your sunscreen will always be your very last step in your skincare routine. So if I'm gonna go wear makeup for the day, I have this on first. Forget about the thinnest to thickest rule. I don't care if the moisturizer you're using is a lot heavier and thicker than this. The moisturizer goes on first and then this. If you're using a face oil, that will go on after your moisturizer, before you put on a sunscreen. Sunscreen, it's always the very last step to form kind of like that film, that protective layer on our skin. Perhaps you're gonna use makeup afterwards, or not, you don't have to, but now your skin's protected for the day. But if you don't use a moisturizing sunscreen like this, and you wanna use a moisturizer, you would use this first, and then you put on your sunscreen. Sunscreen is always, always, always last. And if you're like, well, what about my makeup primer? Well, I look at that as my makeup step, but if you want the world's best makeup primer, this moisturizing sunscreen acts as like the most amazing makeup primer I've ever used. So this really knocks out a bunch of steps all in one. And maybe you didn't go crazy and buy a ton of stuff in all of the sales, and you're like, I do not want to layer stuff. I am a busy mom, or I have a busy job, or you just don't like skincare, but you want your skin to look good. You could use this as your one step. You could cleanse your face or splash it with water in the morning, and this is your antioxidant serum, your anti-aging serum. This is your moisturizer, your hydrator. and your sunscreen all in one. And if you want to blur any little imperfections, I love this because it has such a nice lightweight tint to it. This is all my mom uses as her moisturizer, her sunscreen, and her foundation. She doesn't even use a separate foundation because this gives her just enough coverage to kind of blur the imperfections and really kind of perfects her skin and makes it look really healthy and pretty. But that is how you would layer all of your skincare steps. If I left something out, oh, the only other one, like a hydrator. If you wanted to add a hydrator, it could be in the form of a face mist, or perhaps your dermatology needleless serum, or perhaps it's your ordinary alpha-arbutin hyaluronic acid serum. These are all very lightweight, serum-y texture, and of course this is like water, but maybe you wanted to layer all three of these hydrators. Now, these aren't just hydrators, of course. These have a bunch of really amazing anti-aging ingredients in them, but perhaps you just are really on a super mega hydration skincare kick. I would put this on first because it's like water. Then I would put this on next from Dermatology because it's just a little bit thicker than water. And then I would use my ordinary alpha-arbutin hyaluronic acid because it's just a little thicker than this. But you could layer these any which way you want. There's really no right or wrong way to layer them. Again, remember, less is best. Even though I personally will often layer 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 products, that doesn't mean that your skin can tolerate it. So make sure you do what is best for your beautiful face. And of course, I'm not an expert at all. I'm not a dermatologist, I'm not an esthetician. Listen, I was an emergency medical technician in the military. I know how to suture, I know how to do IVs, I know how to treat emergency issues. I mean, it's been so long, I probably wouldn't be that good at it anymore. But I am not an expert in your skin. I feel like I am an expert in what's best for my skin, so make sure that you talk to your trusted esthetician or dermatologist to know what is best for your beautiful face before you ever try any of the things that I say work well for me. So let me know down below, was this helpful enough so that you can kind of understand how to layer your products? I know I get comments all the time and people are so overly confused with what should they do with all these products, and then they just kind of sit in their cabinet and then they expire because they bought them and then now they don't know what to do with them. So leave me a comment down below if you're still confused. List all of your products that you have. Now at least tell me the order that you think they should go in first before I reply back and tell you, and I'm more than happy to help you out so that you can properly layer your products. But just leave me a comment down below. I will reply to almost every single person on the first day or second day of a video going up. But if it's, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days or weeks, I may or may not even see your comment. So if you want to reply back from me, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and when you leave comments, I'm pretty good. I'd say I reply to almost 95% of the comments that are left in the first day or two. And if you wanted to pick this up, 44% off, and you get like $120 of free gifts. You get this full-size cleanser for free and a few other products for free. You're never gonna see a sale like this. So I ended up buying a few of these to stock up for the year. And a lot of people were saying, well, wouldn't they expire? Mine don't expire till March of 2027. So I'm good to go with the 3 that I purchased. They're not gonna expire. If you wanted to see my ultimate hyperpigmentation, melasma, dark spot, age spot layering routine of every single product that I would possibly layer in a daytime and nighttime routine, I'm gonna pop those other videos up here if you wanted to click on them and check them out. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget your sunscreen, and I will see you in the next video.